you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Well, welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. My name is Robert Bannon, and you're listening to us on Broadway World or over here on the Broadway Podcast Network. And we've had a lot of conversations and fun talking about The Tank. It's one of my favorite places to see a show in New York City. We've had the artistic director. We've had the creative teams. We've had all the people at The Tank. The Tank is putting on the shows that you need to see, and they're not even breaking the bank. Come on. How can you go see a show that's cheaper than going to a movie sometimes in New York City with original, creative, amazing work? And when I heard about Touch, which is going to be playing into March, and you got to, people, why don't you have your tickets already? Touch comes to The Tank. I love the idea of Touch. Man, I hope that love comes at any age, and I hope, please God, someone date my father. Let's have Stacey and Joe are here on the show. Congratulations and welcome.
Thanks for having us. Stacey will date your father.
Stacey, will you? He lives in New Jersey. He's very generous and sweet.
Thank you.
He's sweet, I swear. I mean, he doesn't clean very well, but he's a catch. Joe, Willie is here as well, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Willie is here. Willie, are you outside? Hi, Willie.
You're breaking up, my dear.
Well, this is the hopefully things will clear up here.
I hear you now, Willie. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm sitting outside my office in front of my least favorite place in the world. Yeah.
Hello. I see you. You're here on Central Park, and I could say that's lovely. Central Park is the nice part. So, Joe, do you want to tell us about Touch?
Sure, I can tell you. Touch is a play. It takes place, and I think we said it in 2009. It's about two older American adults, a widow who has a grown son, and a widower, Billy, who has a grown daughter. And over the course of about 90 minutes or so, we explore their need or not, desire or not, for companionship, for human touch. And it's very sweet, it's very honest, it's sincere. And throughout the different scenes, we see an old married couple played by myself and Stacey, and we nickname them the Bickersons. So juxtaposed against people who are maybe looking for companionship, we see a couple that's been together for a long time, and you think, well, maybe it's a good thing or not. And we're the comic relief.
Oh, and you are the comic relief, and you guys are pretty funny. Just being you and Stacey and Joe, and Joe's making his Tank debut in this show.
Yes, I am.
Congratulations, Stacey. You're here. Willie.
Yes.
How you doing, bud? Congrats.
I'm good.
On the show.
I'm good. Thank you.
How do you tie into all the hijinks that is this show called that we're here talking about Touch?
I play Bob, the widower that Joe just mentioned, and just trying to get along with my daughter. So it's I think it's a very funny play. Joe and Stacey are hilarious, and but it's a good show. So just trying to navigate age at a certain point, trying to stay engaged sometimes, and just trying to continue to get old.
I hear you, and that's what really moved me when I heard this. When I got the press release for this show, I was like, I'm very moved by the idea of the storyline, because as everybody deserves love and companionship and somebody to take care of life with and be there for. And as somebody whose parents got divorced when I was 25, seeing my parents navigate love in their this part of their life was really, really, it was an interesting ride for them, for me and my brother, and I think for everybody. So, Stacey, when did this come to you? How did this show come to you? Did you audition? Did someone reach out to you? What was your reaction when you first read it?
So I auditioned. I had a call from my agent and read the play and initially auditioned for another role and loved it and was so excited by the audition process. It was felt an instant connection with both Lori, the playwright, and Janice, the director, and left there saying, even if I don't get this, I'm going to come see it. I'm just so excited about this project. And I didn't initially get cast, but they contacted me later because they had lost an actress for the roles that I'm now doing. And so I got a second shot at it. And it was one of those that kind of felt like it was meant to be, just because the connection was so authentic and exciting.
Well, you'll have till March 16th, everybody, to see the show. The show is running until March 16th, and I want people to get their tickets. You can go to thetanknyc.org to get your tickets. What was the process like, Joe, when you guys got in the room? And it's got a lot of comedy to it. There's a lot of relationship building between you all. So how did they work as a creative team to get you all comfortable to share your experiences on stage? What was it like before an audience?
Well, before we've had a great experience. We've really we all clicked immediately. I got Stacey the job because I read with her at the audition. And then I met her in person, and we sat next to each other, and we've just been the best friends as husband and wife. And then watching the others perform and work, I just felt I knew them as well. And then once we got in front of an audience and had gotten the reaction, and it's very funny, and there's a great payoff at the end, and there's a real organic sweetness to it that has been so wonderful.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
With regard to process, it was Janice told us what to do, and we did it.
You're good actors. That's why you all work. That sounds good. Keep that vision alive. Willie, for you've done other theater literally around the country, around the world in certain aspects. So what was it like that appealed to you when you got the chance to read the script?
I just like the story from the beginning here. I told Lori that I like the story because there are certain characters, the way it was cast, there's no mention of race in it. These characters are real no matter who's playing them. And I like that aspect, and I love the way that they cast it. And also just reading it, every time I read it, when I got towards the end, things just happened. I didn't have to act or anything. I felt the stuff that was happening, and it was just, and again, every time I read it, it's like, but we're actors, and so got to do something. But just the feeling I had every time I read it was wonderful. So
I love it. Stacey, I love it, Willie. Stacey, when you are up on stage and now that the audience is getting to start to see it, what has the reaction been? What has it been like when you see people who see themselves in the characters that you guys are playing?
I believe everybody can see themselves in the characters, and actually regardless of age, because this is a story of connection called Touch for a reason. It's about touching, reaching out, connecting with our loved ones, connecting with strangers. So the audience has been extremely receptive. We've had some really almost full houses our first weekend, I think minus maybe one person or something. So really a lot of laughter.
And thank you, Stacey. I hear that. I get it. It's funny, and and there's all sorts of comedy involved. But I'm sure at the root of it, Joe, there's a message that the writer is trying to elicit from you all. This is your first time at the Tank, so what can you say about working at the Tank? How have they treated you?
Good. It's good. We got the dressing room could be bigger.
Sure.
And that's always the case. The thing about what I understand the Tank does is that they incubate, they give people who got projects space to rehearse and put on their projects, put on their play without the cost of the rent. And what a wonderful thing. And so they've supported us in that and give us a place to rehearse, and then we have a place to perform, and which has been wonderful.
Absolutely. I love their mission and what they do for new pieces and new works. Willie, for you to be up on stage, the show deals with touch and deals with relationships, but also there's an element of age. And a lot of the times people don't write, in theater and in television and film, people talk about getting to a certain age and not finding great parts anymore. Um, is it refreshing to see a flushed out character and you get to flex that muscle on stage?
It really is. It's right now. There's a bunch of us who are at a certain age, and sort of the storylines are being talked about in other places here. Lori has another really, really wonderful play called Nightingales that was about older folks and having experiencing certain medical problems, dementia, Alzheimer, other stuff. Really, really, and also very, very funny. But this one here is shorter. It's less characters, but dealing with the age thing here, and I think possibly in some of the things I didn't hear Stacy say at the end of this play. I think people will be touched, and so. But yeah, it really is wonderful, and because a lot of my, I won't say competitors, but friends who we all audition for the same thing, we're all getting to the point where people are moving on. I'm out here in the park trying to stay healthy.
Well, I'm excited for people to get the opportunity and the chance. Stacy, you have musical theater background. All of you have television background. You all have done television and a lot of stage work. So, Stacy, for you, what's the difference? What's it mean to be in front of a live audience and working with actors where you get to stay in this part? It's not you're on set for a day, or this is not just a weekend of shows. Like, you guys have a run. You guys are out here for a month.
I love it. It gives me, I can only speak for myself, although I think my experience is probably pretty similar to many actors, but the getting the chance to flesh out a character over several weeks, a month. We have, I think, 16 performances total of this in this iteration. And it's just great to be able to continue to play and tweak and find what works, what the audience responds to. Okay, well, not that I'm going to strive to get that same reaction, but that showed me that I'm in the right, going on the right track. And yes, I do a lot of musical theater and I love to sing as well, but it's really nice to do something more realistic. This is very natural and not having to worry about, my voice as much. I'm loving it. I love the intimacy of it too. This particular space is very intimate, and it just feels like we're all in a community and just sharing this lovely story.
I love that so much. Joe, you're into a lot of musicals too.
At times.
Yes. So can I ask you, Joe, are any of you, you talk about online dating. Have any of you, Joe, are you with somebody, or do you online date? Do you have a person in your life? Is this too personal?
No, I've been partnered for 10 years.
Okay.
I was single till I was 50. And I wasn't chaste, and I used online to meet many people.
It's amazing. What about you, Willie?
I've been married since 1975, and the whole notion of online stuff, the world has changed so much since the 80s, and I can't imagine. I can only laugh. I don't have that situation, but the whole notion of meeting somebody online. I thought the world changed, after AIDS. When AIDS showed up, all of the partying, all of the going out, all of the seducing, all of that stuff stopped or slowed up. And this is my one theory here is that. So I think that was the rise of Starbucks. So you don't go out and dance tonight. So you go out and you meet at Starbucks. You go to have, so everybody's there. And so that evolved into something else. Then, of course, the internet comes along. And now you got, you go meet people on the internet, and you seek out somebody on the internet and hook up with them. And again, it's a whole new world here. And I'm glad I'm not a part of some of this because it would be, it would be crazy. And we have elements of that in our play that I think is and so.
What about you, Stacy? Do you have are you booed up, as they say, or are you what is your, or are you out here swiping left and right on the apps?
I am happily single and have been for many years. Well, probably I'd say about 15 years ago, maybe almost 15 to 20 years ago, I did go through a period where I was on several of the different websites. I met some interesting people, but I have some stories, but it wasn't something that worked for me. I do have some friends, though, that have found lifelong partners through the internet, and I can see the positive aspects of it, because it's maybe less of a just a free for all, because you're writing out what you're like, what you're looking for, and then you could see a picture or a video of somebody, and so you can go, okay, well, yeah, maybe I'm interested in meeting this person, versus just fly by the seat of your pants. But my experience was the men showed up a certain way online, and then I'd meet them in person, and there was no personality, and it was like, oh no, and no chemistry. So I'm happy just doing my thing.
I hear you. I give you all a lot of credit. I get married on May 25th. Me and my husband get married. Me and my partner, and let me tell you, I never want to see a dating app. I never want to go on a first date. Willie, I don't need to go to Starbucks ever again in my entire life. I am so excited for people to go check this show out. I already sent it to my dad and my mom. They could take their secret significant others that we don't know about, and good for them. Live your best life, mom and dad. Go get it. I want Stacy and Joe and Willie. Everybody wants you to come on down to Touch. Touch is playing at the Tank. You have until this month into March, so you got to get your tickets till the 16th. And go to thetanknyc.org and check it out. Congratulations, you all. I'm so excited. I have to come down and check it out.
Please do.
Please do, Robert. It's a good show. It's a very good show.
I'm excited. I love everything that they all do, and I love everything that you're doing. Yes. Thank you all. Congrats, Break Legs. Have an amazing weekend of shows this weekend.
Thank you.
You too.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.